You've all probably heard the question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, today, the question is, which comes first, anxiety or sleep problems? If you are experiencing either one or both, then stick around because in this video, I'll be sharing the answer to that question. Greetings and welcome. I'm Dr. Nicolette James, your self-care and self-development coach. And I truly appreciate you spending your time with me in the pursuit of caring for and developing a healthier you. If this is your first time visiting my channel and you're interested in receiving my videos to help you be more of who you are and do what you do even better, then be sure to subscribe so you can receive the next one. Now let's get into today's session. So in parts 1 to 3 of the series on anxiety, I've shared a variety of signs and symptoms of anxiety, as well as several strategies for mitigating the detrimental effects that anxiety and the stress it induces on our physical and psychological well-being. In this video, I'm going to focus on sleep. One, because it is critical to our ability to function optimally, and because it's one of my favorite topics to talk about. So I asked, which comes first, anxiety or sleep problems? The answer is that research shows that the relationship between sleep and anxiety goes both ways. Having issues with sleeping can cause anxiety, and having anxiety can cause problems with sleeping. And we already know that experiencing challenges with both of those can wreak havoc on our health and wellness. So there are many reasons why we can have sleep issues. And as always, the first step is awareness. We have to start by monitoring our sleep patterns to determine if what we are experiencing is more chronic or acute. Is it more short-term and occasional, or is it frequent and long-lasting? If it is more chronic, meaning that it is sustained and happens more often than not, it's best to consult with a trained medical or psychological professional. For situations that are less severe and less frequent, we can apply many strategies on our own, some of which I'm going to share with you today. If you are familiar with a few of the traditional and time-tested suggestions, then I'm sure you have heard of them already. And some of those are things such as limiting caffeine or alcohol late in the evening, exercising in the daytime, and drinking teas such as chamomile or lavender in the evening. But I would like to suggest a few more that will not only help to facilitate sleep, but also to reduce anxiety, which, as I mentioned, has a cyclical effect because reducing anxiety can help us to sleep better as well. So in part 3 of this series, I mentioned the benefit of developing a sleep routine. And that's what I would like to expand on today. So most high achieving and goal-driven individuals do not prioritize sleep. They figure it'll eventually happen whenever it does, and that the most important things are the things that they have to do. This is especially true in our rise and grind, hustle culture. It's almost as if sleep is something that we have to hide the fact that we do. I know at one point, my own motto was that I'll sleep when I'm dead. Now I know that in the effort to support my own and the self-care and self-development of others, that it is important to sleep and that we are literally killing ourselves when we don't. We are subtracting years from our lives when we do not invest in getting the type of sleep that we need so that it is restful and rejuvenating. So trust me, sleep is not optional. We need it. And we also need the kind of sleep that helps us to, helps our bodies to do the things that it has to do while we're sleeping to keep us as awesome as we are. So how do we get this type of sleep that I'm talking about? We have to plan, prepare, and commit to it. We can't just think that it's going to happen. Just like anything else that we would like to influence the potential success of, we do not leave it up to chance. So we have to follow a routine. And that's what I would like to talk about if you are experiencing the type of anxiety that leaves you feeling just totally exhausted because you are experiencing overwhelm, frustration, or burnout. So to get started at step 0, you have to commit. We have to commit to prioritizing our sleep. Commit to implementing the steps that I am going to share with you for at least the next 7 to 10 days so that you can document and start getting feedback from your body so that you'll know how to adjust your plan as you move forward. You need to invest in a journal in order to track your progress. You can use my daily reflection journal or any notebook will suffice. And then you need to commit to not taking any naps during the day until you start sleeping soundly for at least 5 to 6 hours per night. So now let's get into the daily steps. So step 1 is to wake up and to get out of bed at or around the same time every morning. If you can get up and out into the sunlight almost immediately after getting up, that will be even better. But the key is to wake up and to get out of bed at or about the same time every day, including weekends and holidays. And I know that's hard because we all like to sleep in, but once you get your sleeping pattern and your routine down, then you can shift a little bit. But in order to get it in place, you need to wake up, get out of the bed, and preferably get out into the sunlight as soon as possible. You want to do this because it will help your circadian or your sleep wake cycle to begin to regulate. Step 2 is to get your mind right, meaning you have to prepare for good sleep early in the day. Almost as soon as you wake up, you start preparing yourself mentally to sleep that night. And the way you do that is by affirming to yourself throughout the day, I am going to sleep well tonight. In addition to repeating this affirmation throughout the day, you want to take time to integrate 3 brief meditations throughout the day. 1 when you wake up, 1 in the midday, and then 1 before you go to bed. I have a meditation series prepared specifically for this, which I've linked to the end of this video. Step 3 is to prepare your body for sleep. We do this by powering down. The same way we power down our devices, we power our body down by putting away our devices. No blue light is allowed, but at least 1 to 2 hours before you plan to go to bed. We want to put the devices away, not even a peek. If you would like to hear more about the hazards of blue light at night and what you can do to minimize the effects of it, check out the video that I have specifically on self-care and technology, which I've also linked to the end of this video. Step 4 is to spend a little time journaling. You want to write all of your thoughts, all of the thoughts that are buzzing around in your head and keeping you awake. You want to write that down in your journal. You want to get those thoughts out of your head and into your journal. Step 6 is meditating. So I have prepared several guided meditations specifically for sleep, and you can use those to get started. You want to try to, again, settle your mind. So after you've meditated, if you find that you are still thinking a lot about whatever it is, you want to get back up and journal, get all of those thoughts out of your head. The goal is to get everything that's on your mind out of your mind so that you can release it and prepare your body to sleep. You also need to keep in mind that when we make promises to ourselves, we should strive to keep them. We do this when we write down whatever it is that's in our head and we tell ourselves that I am going to return to these thoughts at a time that is better for thinking about this, which is typically during my waking and not when I'm trying to sleep. So we need to make the time during the day to think about those things that we have written in our journal so that our true self, our core, knows that we can be trusted to not have those things on our mind when we are trying to go to bed. So after you meditate, if you find that you're still not falling asleep for a while, you want to get back up and engage in some other type of activity, such as reading or working on a crossword puzzle, Sudoku, whatever you like, just no electronic device. Okay, if none of that still works, then just start all over from step 1. Just get into the bed, start thinking to yourself that I am going to have a restful night's sleep, journal a little bit more, do another meditation, read a little bit more, and continue to prepare for sleep. As with anything that we hope to succeed in, we have to commit and we have to be consistent. So if you implement these suggestions consistently and you still find that you are not having a more restful, rejuvenating sleep, or that your anxiety is still not reduced in any way, then again, I recommend that you consult with a medical professional. So if you have found value in what I've shared with you today, please hit the subscribe button, and pass this on to your friends or your PLN. Please post and share this video because sharing is caring. Until next time, continue to nourish your most important relationship, the one you have with yourself. Because self-care is not a selfish act. It is an act of kindness. See you next time.